Welcome to Flashback. We're covering Dead Rising, a zombie game. An open-world survival horror game, in fact, developed and published by Capcom. It's the first entry in a series of the same name. You control Frank West, a photojournalist, who becomes trapped in a shopping mall within the town of Willamette, Colorado, suffering from a zombie outbreak. Players must complete major missions to advance the main story. The sandbox element of the game means the optional tasks can be done with several additional endings available. Players don't complete certain conditions towards training the story. Lots of stuff like that. Originally released for the Xbox 360 in 2006, it spawned 3 sequels. Dead Rising 2, 2010, Dead Rising 3, 2013, and Dead Rising 4 in 2016. A remake of the game was made for the Wii entitled Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop. I have no idea about that. And released in 2009. While a mobile version was also created, which is wank. Go check out a review on the site of that shite. That was as part of its 10th anniversary as well. Cheers, guys.
You're going to go into the mini spin-off titles as well.
Oh, God, we're not touching upon them here as well. The game was re-released in 2016 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as a sort of group package. It's one of these where I love Dead Rising 1, but I'm also aware it got bettered by its sequels. So usual, liked, disliked. Favourite moments, scenes, bits of music. Although that one with Dead Rising is really fucking difficult. But yeah, let's talk about some of the likes. Open world zombie game. It was the first time I'd ever played anything like that. Fucking love that. Couldn't have been anything more than I wanted.
Yeah, growing up, Dawn of the Dead was one of my favourite horror movies. So playing this game was like a dream. You know, the whole. What I love about Dawn of the Dead is that whole scenario of being trapped in a shopping mall and going into different stores and all that. And this gave you the opportunity to do that.
It really did.
In game form, and that was a lot of fun. You know, exploring all the different stores, and literally everything could be used as a weapon that you could find in each of these stores. You know, going to the hardware store, you can pick up literally any hardware item, or go into the food aisle. You know, anything can be used as Dead Rising. You know, but it introduced a lot of those things. One of my personal favourite weapons is the shower head.
Oh,
yeah, just seeing the blood rain down through the shower head.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I'm as a zombie fan. You know, look at the title of our website, Brains. It couldn't be more I wanted. While it's even I've got very fond memories of the series as a whole, but Dead Rising 1 particularly.
This was actually the first 360 game that I played. I think it may not have been like an actual launch title, but it might have come just after launch.
Quite soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember being blown away by the next gen technology at the time. At the time, it was next gen. I'm not sure why this sticks with me, but I remember there's a fountain in the main entrance of the mall in Willamette. I remember just being blown away by how good the water looked.
Oh, okay. The outside Central Park area.
And I think I played it not too long ago, and it still looks pretty good. But yeah, there's the water effects in that fountain. I just remember that really sticks with me.
Really blown, yeah.
It really blew me away at the time.
Frank is a great protagonist. Ultimately so much so that people wanted him back, and they made sure they brought him back into the series later on. He's a dickhead. A rude dickhead, but he's a great protagonist.
Yeah, he's a really fun protagonist. He has he's a reporter, obviously, so he has the camera, and that added its own little features where you can try and get the most gruesome photo possible of a massive horde of zombies, and that was fun. Yeah, he's a delight, Frank, isn't he?
He's a delight. I like that.
Another thing I remember being really impressed by is the amount of zombies that it was capable of cramming onto one screen, like a ridiculous amount, some might say. For that time and for what I'd never experienced, particularly later in the game when it gets tougher and tougher, you'd go out into a particular mall area and it'd just be like, oh my fucking god. No game in the series captured the difficulty of like a horde of zombies and how that could be difficult to you in real life, and portraying that in a game as much as the first game did.
Absolutely, the later games would make it easier.
In later games you could run through a group of zombies, no problem, but in this, there's no way you could do that. Yeah,
you generally didn't want to. You knew you'd take too much damage.
You just got to try and do the whole jump kick with Frank. And
try and lock that move.
Yeah, I remember there's like a grocery store area where you can get lots of food that's healing herbs and stuff, but that whole section and getting to that is like really difficult.
You got to go through, if you can lock the shortcut, but you still got to go through Paradise Plaza and then into North Plaza, which is where that grocery store is.
Yeah, and you can stock up on healing items, but then we got to like get back, and you lose most of them anyway. But yeah, it was really like very challenging game.
Just basically don't pick up baguettes and stuff, just pick up orange juice.
Oh, orange juice.
Always orange juice.
In every Dead Rising game, that's the one,
I love the timer system. This is something in all the games, but Dead Rising, I absolutely love the timer system. I love how that adds tension to it. I love how it makes it so you can't really do everything possible. You've got to make some choices. I love it. That's Dead Rising. I never want Dead Rising to change.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the difficulty in dealing with the zombies, but that was really like it pressured you in it, like forced you to progress, kind of thing. You couldn't just sit back and do nothing. You had to get out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting mechanic. I think that's pretty much it for likes. Don't know.
I just want to add on the PP system.
Oh, the PP system.
Just the fact that when these systems are introduced, you want to feel like it's progression. And playing Dead Rising, because the whole idea is you'd level up and then you might fail and then you'd start again, but your PP would remain. It made it feel progression properly. Not just it would up your health the further you got. You would have more item slots. You would learn new moves, new abilities that made it a bit easier and stuff like that. You got faster. He could take more damage. So when you would actually get to like level 50, it really felt like fucking hell progression. You know, that's very important to feel progressed. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. We could probably go into the dislikes after that, because you obviously have done a lot more in the game than I ever did. Because personally, like, at least from back when I first originally played it, I would say the game is almost too hard. Like, I think that's a thing that some people can accuse it of. And a lot of people struggle to complete it. I mean, personally, I've never actually completed the first Dead Rising to the extent that you can do with this whole 7-day survivor stuff.
Oh yeah, the 100%. Okay, yeah, all right.
Also, like, actually getting from that to the end of the story, I've never actually achieved that.
To get the full end of the story, I'm going to come onto it. Actually, no, we can talk about it then. Right, yeah. So you mentioned it there. Right, so it is a hard game overall. Like, compared to, if you just want to casually play a zombie game, play Dead Rising 2. As simple as that. It's much more. It's a big step up. Dead Rising 1 is very difficult, not just with zombies, but later on. Holy fucking hell! Some of those bosses. Oh my god, their abilities and how much damage they soak up. I remember hating the clown with the 2 chainsaws.
Stay away from there, clowns! Huh? Everyone used to laugh at me. I was a walking punchline. But not anymore.
Unbelievably difficult. But the end boss with Brock on the tank is one of the most bullshit fucking battles. Honestly, what they were thinking there. It's so fucking hard. It's so fucking hard that it generally is. You have to basically unlock the ability that Frank, where he does the spinning fist punch, where he spins in a circle. Unlock that and spam the fuck out of it.
When he punches a tank.
No, it's on top of a tank.
Oh, it's on top of a tank.
Yeah, you fight Brock.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen actually a clip of it.
Yeah, and it's a spinning sort of like clothesline move that Frank does. The only problem is it leaves you open briefly afterwards because he tires.
Oh yeah.
But it do massive amount of damage. That's what you end up spamming. Horrible. That's a joke for difficulty. When I replayed that recently, full health, level 50 and all that, even I struggled.
They went for a more traditional survival horror feel in the game, and I've played survival horror games, done quite well with them, but like it just really throws you in at the deep end in Dead Rising. You have to like experiment. It's all about experimentation because you can restart and try again kind of thing. But I remember really struggling on. Really early on, you get the guys outside that are traveling around with shooting guns. That happens almost
the convicts
practically at the beginning of the game.
Yep.
And it's like how are you supposed to deal with that? You haven't got the weaponry or you can level up and stuff, but that happens as you progress as you go along. But early on, when you're weak, Frank, going outside and have to deal with these guys driving around in this truck, shooting guns. It's like how the hell,
It's ones they've basically got a gigantic machine gun on the back, and if that isn't cutting you down, they're driving into you. The trick to that is to basically get amongst trees, and they'll drive into trees because they're idiots. Also, while I don't have it, I will mention the fact that bear in mind as well, if you the convicts will respawn every 24 hours.
Yeah,
which is stupid as fuck.
I remember I'm pretty sure I killed them once, and then they respawned, and I was so pissed.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Loser! Get your ass right, brother. Yeah.
All right, looks like we found our next contestant.
Yeah, we're gonna take out that dude and snatch his old lady.
Yeah, so it's very tough overall. We touched upon the story isn't the best. Ultimately, it's not the best. That's as simple as that. This whole massive conspiracy, Carlos, it's not a great story. It would be improved and touched upon as the story overall goes on. But Dead Rising's sort of story isn't the best. It's simple as that.
No, it's definitely not. Its strength is not its story.
Yep,
that's all.
And the biggest one, the biggest criticism I have for Dead Rising, something where the sequels would massively improve this. The AI is the thickest, dumbest, most infuriating bullshit in the world. And I'm talking not about bosses and all that. They've got their own problems. I'm talking about AI you have to rescue. Trying to get that lot moving. Basically, the trick to it is this. I'm going to give you some advice, some guide advice. The trick to this is not to have them follow you. It's to set them a destination. Use the system of pointing and don't move it too far away otherwise as well, because they'll get stuck. Keep it close and constantly try and move them forward step by step. Do not do the option to follow them, because they'll either get stuck. If you move to screen too far along, zombies will respawn behind them, meaning put them in danger. But the biggest infuriating and the thing they improved in Dead Rising 2, if those AI characters get caught by a zombie, they will not break out of the grasp. You have to physically go back and attack the zombie. Often someone's hitting the character as well. In Dead Rising 2, the AI would break away. They could break themselves free. That doesn't exist in Dead Rising 1. It makes saving characters hard as fuck. Particularly when it comes to related to achievements like rescuing 8 women at once and stuff like that. And the ones that have to have the hand being held. Even though I'm thinking about it, it's stressing me out.
Yeah, some flashbacks.
You know, it's just like, oh. And biggest as well, give them a weapon. Give them a fucking... Not a gun. Do not give them a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Do not give them a pole or something that
and...
they can swing. You know, that's it. And heal them. Heal them.
Yeah, I mean, it had some inventive ideas surrounding saving people. I think that's like an interesting concept, you know, but just the execution of it and leading them back, it just led to, as you can clearly see, the amount of frustration that you just went through there. I mean,
honestly,
that's what it led to, was just frustration. So
yeah, flawed as fuck. Right, favorite moments, scenes, bits of music.
Favorite moment of Dead Rising.
No, even scenes. It's like, well, that doesn't really work. I've got 2.
I mean, you know, some of the bosses and stuff, they're quite interesting. The psychopaths or whatever they're called.
Yeah, psychopaths. Yeah,
they're quite interesting.
I think parts like the guy when you rescue Carlos from the guy beast in the meat grinder place basement and stuff like that. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
But basically, I've only got 2, and it's simply one's personal, one's for everyone. If you get through the game, get to the end, and you complete it properly and all, and you unlock the Mega Blaster, do it. Because the game is once you've got a Mega Blaster, it's the easiest thing in the world. So the Mega Blaster comes from Mega Man. It's an item that appears in the safe house and has 500 ammo. And basically will reappear every time. It's not one-off. It will be there every single time you come back. So you can reload as much as you want. You can only pick up 1, but you reload it. It kills zombies in 1. It kills psychopaths in 1 or 2 hits. It makes the game an absolute doddle.
How do you unlock that?
By completing the game.
Alright, just simply completing it.
Oh, no, sorry. No, apologies. No, you don't, of course. Sorry. No, you don't. Basically, it's infuriating to do this, but it's worth doing it, actually, if you want to complete the game. Although you can't use the Mega Blaster at the end boss. That's the problem. You have to kill the 72,000 zombies. It's the killer zombies.
Oh, is that what it is?
So you do the whole trick of the downstairs and the read online. It's the one where you just drive around in the thing. It takes ages, but you do that and you unlock the Mega Blaster, and then it makes the game so much easier.
And that's unlocked for any
constantly. Just as long as it's in the same save file, it will always be there. Basically,
yeah. So that'd be a really good one to have for the 7-day survivor.
No, doesn't work for that. That's a totally different save file.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Screw that then.
Yeah, and my second one, of course, as you just mentioned, is the 7-day survivor. I've not just done it once; I've done it twice.
You're sick.
It's one of my favourite achievements in the entire world. It's one of my personal I love doing it the second time. It's annoying. I wish I'd streamed it at the time for the second one. Yeah. But basically, if you don't know, it'll take you about 14 hours of real time to do. Yeah. It's not hard. You just need to be really smart about how you eat and what you fight and who you choose to fight and stuff like that. Shit, now I'm remembering. Actually, I think you can use the Mega Blaster. I think you can.
What, for 7 days survivor?
Yeah, I'm sure you can, actually.
Well, I mean, that must make it a lot easier.
Well, only when it comes to psychopaths. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking now, of course you can, because you use it to take down the bosses. To make it easy. Yeah, you can. because I was using it to take down the bosses. It doesn't really help you with zombies, because zombies are one-hit kills on most of it anyway. The issue with 7 Days to Survivor is about collecting food and keeping smart, and my whole gameplay, I'll tell you now, was when I started off, there's certain rooms you can go, places you can go, and you can close the door behind you. You can wait out a lot of time there. You want to do that in a place with a clock, so you can keep an eye on the time that way.
But like, is it just simply you just simply have to survive for the 7 days?
Yes.
You don't actually have to do anything else.
No, you will, because basically there is not enough food in the mall overall to keep Frank alive.
Yeah, but like, if you get into a room with a closed door, and then you're not going to be taking any damage, would you?
Oh no,
So,
yeah, his health drains.
his health
He
is
needs
go-
to feed.
Oh right, he has to eat.
Yeah.
Alright.
So basically, the idea is this time is everyone, all survivors are psychos now. They spawn randomly and differently this time, all over the place. The idea is they will also drop food.
Alright.
So you haven't, and there's not enough food overall. You can collect food from usual places, but it does not respawn. So once you've stripped one area of the mall, done.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, and that's how it works. There's not enough food in the mall, so you're forced to fight. But basically, you pick and choose. You be smart about it. You remember one was particularly tough and all that. It's not because it's not worth taking the damage for it. You avoid it. Like for example, one worth avoiding is the cultists. Although it's worth it because, in the sense that there's a lot of food to be collected around the area, you have to get through a lot of cultists to do it. But yeah, so basically, while it is challenging in that sense, it's a great sense of satisfaction. It's not that it's hard. It's the time.
Yeah. If you got halfway and then you died, I mean, I can't imagine the pain.
Yeah, it's basically 14 hours of time. But the plus is, like I said, my advice to anyone doing it is to always start the furthest afield. For example, my first area I was stripping was North Plaza. It's got a lot of places to go and all that, but it's also one of the furthest and most dangerous.
Smart, yeah, do the further ones and then slowly get closer and closer, so it makes it not so hard.
And I was also making sure at the start, I was like, right, basically, if you're thinking, if you're going to die, you want to die in the first couple of hours, not 10 hours in. So I was making sure I didn't really touch food in the mall. I was dealing with psychopaths.
That's true.
Because if I died, hell, sweet. Oh, I've only lost a couple of hours. And then by the end of it, so a lot of the time, it was like controller was down, and I'd set a time on my phone, because I think like every 5 minutes, a block of health drops. So you'd be like, okay, in 20 minutes' time, he's going to have half health. I'll come back. And that's what I was doing, yeah, basically. So it is possible.
Yeah.
There's my advice.
Like a marathon, man.
Yeah, it really is. But there you go. There's Dead Rising. There's our flashback. Make sure you check out the other videos. Hit that like and subscribe button.